We now go back to one of our main stories on SABC News. That's the different marches that are taking place across the country today. Let's go now to Chriselda Lewis, who's been tracking the DA march in the Johannesburg CBD. Chriselda, we know the DA changed its route after threats from the ANC Youth League, and they've been warned about being there. Talk to us about what's happening at the moment.
Well, Nzinga, I'm broadcasting just outside Luthuli House at the moment, and the DA march now has finished, and the DA members have dispersed. Just outside here, Luthuli House, you can see now members of the MKMVA as well as members of the ANC and supporters are still here saying they're going to protect. We'll move towards this direction. We see another large group of ANC members and supporters now or coming this direction. They're marching through various streets here in the Johannesburg CBD, and they're saying since this morning they've been here to protect Luthuli House. After, you'd recall, the DA had said it was going to march to Luthuli House. That, of course, was diverted at a later stage, and subsequently that march took place at the Westgate Transport Hub and ended at the Mary Fitzgerald Square. It certainly doesn't seem to be letting up at this point, as members of the Congress of South African Students have also joined this protest now. And I must say the MKMVA at this point has been very helpful in trying to disperse some of the scenes that we saw a bit earlier on, where there had been sporadic incidents of violence. That has now since been quelled, and essentially these ANC members and these MKMVA members, as well as the Congress of South African Students, continue with their protests here. But we're expecting perhaps in the next hour or so they might disperse, because we did see some of the buses that ferried them here have already started coming to this area as far as KwaZulu-Natal. So the expectation at this point is that, well, you see a lot of these ANC supporters as well as members as well, quite excited when they see the camera, of course. But this really shows their enthusiasm, at this point, of them saying they're here to protect Luthuli House, and they're saying they're not prepared to move from here until of course, what they say is the DA's led march, which is against the ANC president and the president of the country. We're just going to try and move to another direction at the moment. As you can see, as we try to broadcast, you get quite a lot of the protesters and the marchers themselves trying to come towards the camera. So police do have the situation under control at this stage. Very calm in comparison to the scenes that we saw a bit earlier on. But the expectation, I think, at this point is in the next few minutes they will disperse from here. As I indicated, some of those buses that ferry them here to Luthuli House have already come through here, and they're expected to leave perhaps, I would estimate, say in about an hour or so. But we also heard there from, the ANC Youth League, Colin Maine, stating that President Jacob Zuma, the ANC president, will be allowed to finish his term as the president of the country, and that is not going anywhere. So that's certainly the sentiment that we're seeing being shared here by many of these ANC members, as well as the MKMVA and the Congress of South African Students, who are saying that President Jacob Zuma is not going anywhere. They're here to protect Luthuli House. That march, of course, by the Democratic Alliance is over now. So what these members are essentially saying now is that they will continue to show support for the African National Congress. Also heard there from the ANC a bit earlier on, Kusela Sangoni, indicating, of course, you heard much earlier on in the press conference during the course of the week, the ANC saying they denounce any forms of violence, and they were not expecting the large crowds that they saw here at Luthuli House. But true to the MKMVA, recall, of course, they did indicate that they will bring about 600 MK vets here, and that was certainly the case outside here at Luthuli House. But there has been, I must say, on the part of the MKMVA, they managed to quell any sense or any sporadic violent scenes that we did see that were very orderly. And, police themselves, didn't have much work to do here. Apart from the little scenes that we did see, you'd recall, of course, that there was speculation a bit earlier on that there were some Save SA members who came here carrying a banner, and that the members of the ANC, as well as the MK veterans, as well as COSAS, found that rather insulting, because recall police did give an indication, or rather had stopped the DA or any of the other marches that are referred to as anti-Zuma marches from coming anywhere near Luthuli House. And I guess for those to have come here, many of these ANC members saw as an insult to them, and that's when we saw those incidents of violence. But at this stage, we're expecting them to disperse any minute now, and we'll continue to monitor the situation outside Luthuli House here, where these members of the ANC supporters, as well as the MK vets, as well as the Congress of South African Students, say they will continue to protect the headquarters of the ANC.
Chriselda Lewis coming to us live there from Luthuli House.